Hare Krishna. So, Krishna is also famous as Damodar. And our acharyas, our teachers from the past, and the scriptures, they explain that the name Damodar wasn't originally given to Krishna. Although all of Krishna's names are eternal, but when Lord Krishna descended in this material world about 5,000 years ago, he was known as Kanha, Lala. These were his names because he was just a little child. And as a toddler, he did an interesting pastime. He made Mother Yashoda run after him, and Mother Yashoda was trying to catch him and teach him some life lessons. Mother Yashoda was so exasperated that when she did catch Krishna, she tied him up against a wooden mortar with a rope going around his belly. So, in the local language, in Vrindavan and also in Sanskrit, the belly is called as Udara and the rope is known as Dam. So, because Mother Yashoda tied up Krishna, since then Krishna, in this particular incarnation, in this particular avatar, not incarnation but avatar, he was henceforward glorified as Lord Damodar. So Krishna is about 3 years of age. So after that happened, and since then, when he was tied up to that wooden mortar, he dragged that wooden mortar behind him and he liberated two devas, two devatas. Actually, they were the sons of Kuber. He liberated them. They had been cursed to stay in the body of huge trees. So they had the tree form. Previously, they had a nice devata form, a human form, but now they got cursed. It is like one of those sci-fi movies. Somebody waves a wand and you change it to a rat. Animation. So they got cursed. They became trees. Krishna liberated them. How did he liberate them? He dragged a wooden mortar behind himself. He himself, although he's a toddler, he can walk on his two legs. But when he was tied to the wooden mortar, he started crawling. Because on 4 limbs, he found more strength to pull the wooden mortar behind him. Then he got the mortar stuck between these 2 trees. And then he pulled down the 2 trees. And in this particular script, Krishna did not have to wave his hand or anything. The trees were immediately, as soon as they were pulled down, they crashed down. The curse was removed and the sons of Kuvera got liberated. So there is only the friends of Krishna around him and the monkeys. Everyone is shocked because they did not have television or smart screen. So they had never watched cartoons and animations. So they were shocked. What happened? The trees suddenly have transformed Krishna himself is amazed. He says, oh, I'm a big boy now. I not only can climb up on this human pyramid and bring down pots of butter, I not only can sit on a wooden mortar, but I can actually have so much strength. I can pull down trees. So after the whole issue was resolved, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maiya, Krishna, Balaram, the entire cowherd community, they resolved this issue. Because Krishna was practically going to sue everyone for child abuse. How would you do that? The only way he could manifest that was by saying that I'm going to leave Vrindavan. I don't like it here. I'll go away from home. So everyone convinced him. They made him sit down. There was a lot of discussion. Finally, Krishna was convinced that he should stay in Vrindavan. This is his house, his home. So since then, Krishna started feeling that now he's grown up. He's a big boy. He's a big man. In fact, he thought he was a man now. I have a lot of strength. So he goes up to his parents, especially Mother Yashoda, and he tells her, I'm not going to sit in your lap anymore. I'm a big boy. Mother Yashoda, her eyes open up like that, wide open, and she's like, oh, that is so true. You're such a big boy. My God, now I have to feed you more. Krishna, come here. Let me feed you more. And Krishna is like, yes, you should feed me more. I need a lot of nourishment. And he goes and sits in her lap. And Mother Yashoda is, oh, my boy has grown up so fast. Krishna starts believing that he is now old enough to take up responsibilities. So after a few days, as he's sitting in the lap of Mother Yashoda, he turns around to her, looks at her, eye to eye, and he tells Mother Yashoda, now I am as responsible as Nanda Baba. I should share in the responsibilities of this house. Yashoda Maya is, oh yes, yes, yes. We all have to now listen to you. So tomorrow onwards, I'm going to take the cows for pasturing. Because that is what the big men do. All the men in this community, they go out, take the cows for pasturing into the forest. Mother Yashoda said, oh, really? He said, yes. And all the cows will listen to me. Have you seen when I go to the Gaushala? They all are very subservient to me. They follow my instructions. Mother Yashoda, she went into flashback. When Krishna was little, but Krishna and Balaram, they just started crawling. So they found it very fascinating to be in the Gaushala, in the cow shed. Because all around them, people are walking on two legs. Only in the cow shed, they found beings that were on four legs. So they said, okay, we belong to this community. Because we always are on four limbs. And these beings are on four limbs. So they got really comfortable being in the cow shed. But then they started wondering as to, oh, our ears are so small. And these cows, they have such long ears. How is it that they have long ears? How does it feel? So they crawled up to one cow. And Krishna was feeling one ear of the cow, and Balaram, he reached out to the other ear of the cow. And it felt so soft. Anything soft, children love. So this really started pulling on those ears, and the cow was surprised. So she lifted her head up. And when she lifted her head up, the two kids, they got lifted up in the air. They were airborne. And they had no idea what to do now. They looked at each other and they're like, Maya, save us. Help. But they are in the cowshed. They are in the Gaushala. No one came to their help. The cow started mooing. So they were hanging on for dear life because when they looked down, they saw it is going to be a hard fall. They were only half a feet above the ground, like 6 inches above the ground. Oh, if we fall, we'll get hurt. So they hung on. Now, Gaumata, she had a brilliant idea. She said, all right, let me take these boys for a ride. So she started walking around the Gaushala. Now their arms were aching. They realized they couldn't hold on for long, but they had to hold on. So slowly their fingers were slipping down the ear, each ear. The cow realized that. She said, oh. So the cow went right to the spot where there was a huge heap of cow dung. Goer. Two huge heaps, and the cow stood with her head right between these two huge heaps. And Krishna and Balaram were hanging down those ears right above those heaps. And slowly their fingers were slipping down the ears. And they're like, Maya, Maya, Maya. And the cow just went shaking its head side to side, this way and this way. So they slipped faster. And bloop, the two of them fell into that cow dung heap, right up to their necks. And they weren't strong enough to save themselves and come out of that heap of cow dung. Somehow or the other, they raised up their arms and they started waving it at anyone who could help them. After some time, Mother Yashoda did find them. And she's like, what are you doing here? And they were crying. They're like, we don't like you. We don't like our parents. They don't take good care of us. So Mother Yashoda was remembering that I'm strong. I'm powerful. Krishna said, no, we just celebrated my birthday. I'm 3 years old now. I'm already into my 4th year. So I'll take responsibilities. I'll go out and take the cows for pasturing. Mother Yashoda said, why don't you go and talk to Baba? Yes, I will talk to my father. Man to man talk. So Krishna walks up to his father and says, Baba. And Baba says, yes, Lala. No, don't Lala me. I've come to talk to you about a very serious matter. He said, okay, take your asan, take your seat. Krishna somehow climbed up onto an asan, sat there, feeling very important. He said, tomorrow onwards, you have to give me the charge of the cows. Nanda Baba said, you already are in charge of the cows, beta. You are my son. He says, no. Don't son me. Now, I want to be a cow herdsman. take the cows out for grazing and bring them back to go into the forest. Nanda Baba started laughing. And when Krishna saw Nanda Baba laughing, he lost all of his confidence. He went crying back to Maiya, Baba is bad. He's laughing at me. So Maiya comes carrying Krishna in arms and she looks at Nanda Baba and said, you should not do that. No, he's very serious. So now Nanda Baba becomes serious. He says, oh, I'm so sorry. This is a very serious affair. He said, Kana, do you know, are you trained in, do you have the training to be a cowherdsman? Kana said, oh no. Then how will you take the cows out for herding? He says, Baba, you will teach me. That is what fathers are meant to do. So Nanda Baba said, well, I am a king, so I have many people who can teach you. He said, yes, 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 from tomorrow onwards, please teach me how to herd cows. But he said, but Baba said, before you can start taking care of cows and bulls, first learn how to take care of the calves. So Nanda Baba, he arranged for Krishna to be trained in the arts of taking care of calves. So for about a year, Krishna happily did that task, that work. He became very good at it. And then he would like to show off to his friends. And you know, children, when they are a little young, under 10, typically a lot of them feel that the only way they can have their space in this world, people notice them, is possible if they hang out with older children. Somehow there is that need. After 10, they don't want to hang out with older children. They want to hang out only with their age group. That is why they call them adolescents. But under 10, they're like, I want to hang out with older people who are older than me. So Krishna would also hang out with children older than him. And you tell them, now I'm taking care of calves, and I do this and I do that. And they would look at him and, you're still a kid. The older children would say, you're still a bacha, you're still a kid. And calves, that's very easy task. You want to be a man, you should be taking care of cows, like we do. Krishna said, okay, I can do that. They said, shh, you. First of all, you do not have the strength, bodily strength. You are so little, so short. Have you looked at the cows? They're double your size. I mean, you try to go and get hold of them, and practically you'll pass under them, under their belly. Krishna said, no, 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 I can't do that. Do you think your Baba will allow you to do that? No one trusts you, Krishna. Your father also does not trust you. Now that really hurt Krishna. So he goes back home. Doesn't even change into something comfortable. Goes to his room, bangs the door, locks it, jumps onto his bed, puts his face in the pillow, and starts crying. Mother Yashoda comes to the door. Nana, come for you. Dinner, food. I'm not hungry. But that is not how, I'm not hungry. That is how he said. He was crying, right? He was crying and he was angry. Mother Yashoda, she's concerned. Is everything all right? Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to see anyone's face. I don't want to eat. I don't want to come out of my room. Mother Yashoda understood that this is father-son talk needed here. Mother is going to be helpless in this situation. She goes to Nanda Baba and she says, do you know what your son is up to? And Nanda Baba says, have you got divorced? Do I have another wife? Yashoda is like, you're not listening to me. He said, but then he's our son, not just my son. He says, no, your son. Do you know what he's doing? What happened? He's in his room. He's sulking. Oh, okay. Pre-teenage tantrums. So Nanda Baba knows the password, right? He can easily open the door. He takes a pen, puts it, unlocks the door, opens the door. Krishna is so smart, he doesn't even realize that he should ask Nanda Baba, how is it that you got into my room? He's smart, right? He's not able to process that. But what he's able to process is, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. That is all he can process. Nanda Baba comes and sits beside him and says, what happened, Lala? You don't trust me. He says, no, I trust you. Why? What happened? If you trust me, then you should now give me the charge of the cows. Definitely I trust you. But you know the cows? And Nanda Baba kept quiet like that. So Krishna also was just like you. What is going to happen next? What is Nanda Baba going to speak? He stopped crying. He turned away from the pillow. He looked into Nanda Baba's face. He's like, what cows? Cows only listen to people who eat their dinner on time. Really? Yes. And if they don't eat on time, then the cows are not ready to let that person be their cow herdsman. Krishna said, okay, I'm going to eat my dinner. Krishna goes. Mother Yashoda feeds him. How is this? Mother, Maya, this is so nice, this is so tasty. And Krishna completely forgets about whatever happened some time back. He completely forgets about it. It's erased. Right now it's just food. Maya, tomorrow when I go out to take care of the calves, give me a nice lunch box. Mother Yashoda says, all right. Situation diffused at home. Both are smiling, they're happy. So the next day Krishna goes back to the calves. He's having nice time with the calves. A few days pass, he again wants to hang out with the older kids. They again bring up that topic. So it's back to Krishna sulking, and Nanda Baba has to find out another reason, another way to get him to eat. So this goes on for almost a few months. Because when you're young, it's easy to be distracted, right? As you grow older, you become more stubborn and obstinate. Sometimes such stubbornness is called as being focused. Maybe it is being focused in life. Isn't it? So when you're young, you get easily distracted. There's so many things that you're curious about, correct? And your mind goes to so many different topics. It doesn't really matter if your physical body is 40 years old or 50 years old, right? As long as your mental state is that of a 4-year-old, then obviously the mind gets distracted while chanting Hare Krishna. Is it true? You sit down to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And the best options for a good life come into your consciousness. Oh, this is what I have to do. I have to call up this person. I have to make these arrangements. Best planning happens. That is why when you chant Hare Krishna, your life becomes very successful. Because as you're chanting, you get the best ideas of life come to you. Hence, everyone should chant Hare Krishna regularly. And the more you chant, the better your life becomes. You ask anyone, they'll always say, since the time I've started chanting Hare Krishna, I feel more happy in life. Now we don't quarrel anymore. Because you get such nice ideas while you're chanting, how not to quarrel. So whoever said that chanting Hare Krishna does not give us nice material benefits, all it gives us is material benefits. Except that after some time we feel that now we are responsible members of the society. Once that happens, then there is a problem. Then the ideas that come to us are not ideas about a healthy individual, healthy lives. The idea is about the problems that plague our society. Isn't it? Because now we are responsible members of the society. And the only way we can adjust these distractions is by having nice paneer sabji, nice sweets, because that is only happiness now we have after becoming responsible members. What is our only happiness? Nice prasad. And once again, because now we have lost that innocence, while chanting, the only ideas that come to our head is how to solve problems and what should be the next prasadam menu. Practical effects of chanting Hare Krishna. The benedictions of chanting Hare Krishna. There you are. So, it would seem that just being a simple practitioner would at least help us have a healthy material life. Spirituality or spiritual progression is when we start philosophically looking at, with the philosophical lens, we look at what is it that we prioritize in our life? What is a priority? Suddenly we go for our health checkup and they tell you, you have got 6 hours left. What will be our priorities? Would our priority be to chant 64 rounds because in 6 hours we are not going to finish it? Definitely not finish it. Would that be a priority? Or would our priority be, let me do my best as a responsible member of the society? In the 6 hours, let me settle everything down, do whatever is needed for my family. What would be our priority? It needs a lot of introspection to be able to do that every single moment of our lives till the time we die. Every single moment. Because any moment of lost introspection makes us take an exit. It's a diversion. And even our system reroute does not help us come back so easily to the highway of the spiritual goal of Krishna consciousness. Even the reroute doesn't work as well. Because we have not updated it, right? So this is a new exit that has not been updated on Google Maps. The Google Maps of our Krishna consciousness. So the Google Maps itself is confused. What do I do? How do I come off this diversion? No solution. And to top it, we feel that we are responsible members, so we don't even look for solutions. We feel the problem lies with others. So once you are in Kaishore and then Yauvan is 15 plus, 20 plus. We are supposed to be mature in life. We are supposed to have maturity. Maturity means to identify both. Identify that the issues cannot be one-sided. It has to have at least two players in it. And one of the players involved in any issue is me. And it is much more easier to deal with me than to try and deal with the opposite person. Because I can control my senses. I have no idea how to control another person's senses. I have no idea what is happening in another person's existence because I am the Kshetrajna, I am the knower of only my field of activity. I can never be the knower of another field of activity. So as an adult, you realize that whenever somebody tells you that I actually understand what you're going through, as an adult, you realize they are just lying to you. Nobody can actually understand what I am going through or anyone else is going through. Only I can understand that. You know, you have a thorn stuck in your finger, a splinter, right? A splint is that which helps you. A splinter in your finger. And everyone is telling you, don't worry, it's just going to be a little painful. And you're like, how do you know how painful it is? And some of them actually start crying along with you, as they're pulling it out. And I'm like, why are you feeling? You don't have a splinter in your finger. People do that. We do that. It's really painful, no? It's really painful. Arey Baba, how do you know? It's my body. I am feeling the pain. You're disconnected from my body. Your consciousness cannot permeate my existence. And even if theologically you can prove this point that X is equal to Y, Bhagavad Gita does not agree with you. Krishna does not agree with you. Krishna says, no, only the Paramatma can have that understanding. Individual beings cannot. Even if you are somebody's son, daughter, husband, wife, even if you're twins, it's not possible. Individuality is very sacred. So young children, let us come back. This was a huge diversion, right? I really got so animated speaking on it. So let's come back. Let's come back to being peaceful. So Krishna, little child, got diverted with food, with a trip to Six Flags. Six Flags of those times. Baba, we are really going there? Yes, beta. Then who will take care of my calves? Don't worry, bacha. We have people who can take care of the calves. Oh, they'll be all right, no? Completely forgot that he wanted to take charge of cows. He was back to calves. But come his fifth year, Krishna became more adamant. Because everyone around is discussing, oh, how old are you? Here, there's nothing really that makes you feel different as when you're 5 years old or 6 years old. Today's times. But in those times, as soon as you're in a fifth year, people are like, acha, acha. Like when you're in eighth grade here, people, oh, your last year. Like what? Last year of what? Last year of school. They're so happy. But that's just a precursor to high school. Isn't it? It's last year of middle school. Or maybe intermediate, whichever. There's so many ways there's distinction, right? Anyways, so Krishna, as he was turning 5, the talk of the town was, oh, Krishna is turning 5. Krishna. So what? Well, he is no longer a Kumara. His Kumara Avastha is in its sunset. He's going to become a Pauganda now. So, in those times, in that society, this was a very big milestone. Because as soon as you're a Pauganda, everything that was loved as you being mischievous, now you're going to be truant. You no longer will be looked as, oh, such a young mischievous child. No, little truant. You should not be doing this. You're grown up now. Krishna's Pauganda. How does Shukdev Goswami present this in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Shukdev Goswami says, Shri Shuka Uvacha. He is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Tatascha Paugandavaya Shrita Vraje Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Pashupala Sammatau. Pashupala. So the cowherds community, it is also known as the Pashupala community. Because Pashu, as cows, buffaloes, goats, dogs, they have all of these animals, that domesticated animals. They used to take care of that. That is their community. They used to take care of these domestic animals, look after them, feed them, also use the produce that they would get from these animals or whatever these animals would offer in terms of products. They would use it for commerce and trade, either agriculture or other amenities like cosmetics or food. Ghee would be there. Cow dung, cow urine would be used as medicine or even in cosmetics. Did you know that? Did you know how urea is used in cosmetics? It's true. So that's Pashupala. Pashupala Sammato. Babhuvatustau Pashupalasam. They all came together and they said, oh, Krishna is in his Pauganda Avastha. He is now in his 6th year. 5 years have been completed. We have celebrated his 5th birthday. So now he's into his 6th year. Pauganda Vayaha. So the people of Vraja, the Pashupalaka, the elders, they came together and said, Gascharyanto sakhibhi samam padair Vrindavanam punyamati chakratu. They came together and they said, now they should be given serious responsibilities. That has been our tradition. So they should be given the charge of taking the cows out to the pasturing grounds for Gaucharan, for grazing, and the pasturing grounds would be beyond the village perimeter. And typically beyond the villages, in between villages would be, in those times, would be forests. Cultivation would take place within the village perimeters, within the village itself. But where the village boundaries would end, that would become Gaucharan land, tribal land, forest land. So they had to go into the forests. So the Sammatav, everyone had a discussion and they all agreed that Gascharayanto Sakhibhi, they could, along with their friends of the same age, they could all go into the forests and take the cows with them for grazing. So this is how Shukdev Goswami explains it. Okay. So Bhadrapad is Krishna's appearance day. The month of Bhadrapad. What is Bhadrapad? It is 2 months prior to the month that we are in, the month of Kartik. So we are in the month of October right now. So Bhadrapad would have been August. Did we celebrate Janmashtami in August? My math is good. We did. So Krishna turned 5 in August in our story. So they got certain occasions like this is when the village elders come together. So they have discussions such as these. Oh, your child is now Pauganda in his 6th year. So have you given him that responsibility? So Nanda Baba. So up till now, occasionally, once in a month or once in 2 months, Krishna would come, lock the door, go sulking. And somehow the other Nanda Baba would convince him, distract him with so many other nice benefits, and you'd completely forget about taking the cows out for grazing. He'd just go back to the calves. Now, he has very wonderfully celebrated his 5th year. And the talk of the town is your Pauganda. So he's been certified. The town also accepts him. The village accepts that these children of this age group, they are now certified as, they are licensed to, you know that movie, Licensed to? Yeah, no, they're licensed to graze, take the cows out to grazing. They're licensed now, certified. But the parents also have to agree to it, right? Like your child is now ready to go to school. Parents have to agree. No, we'll homeschool. Too young, we'll do homeschooling. Parents have to agree, right? Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai also have to agree. They were not agreeable. It's 11:22. 11:30 we have to stop or 11:15 we have to stop?
We have planned for 10 minutes.
It is not going to be 10 minutes.
11, it can go, generally.
So
11:45 or 11:45. Yeah.
Okay, 11:30. Okay, so now I have to go into my fast mode. Okay. 2x speed. So Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda have a discussion. Oh, this is what they've been discussing. So in August, they are having this discussion right after Janmashtami. One night, Nanda Baba is talking to Yashoda Maiya. You know what Upananda was saying, and you know what Bhanu was telling me, and this person and that person. Yashoda Maiya is like, are you even listening to me? She said, no. Krishna is too small. He's such a little child. Just look at him. He's not even grown up. Nanda Baba said, well, look at the wall where we measure his height. That wall is, remodel it. It is inaccurate. On other days, Mother Yashoda would come and talk in the night to Nanda Baba. You know what Kirti was saying, you know what she is Yashoda. So someone else is in this, that. We should be sending Krishna out into the forest along with the cows, taking care of the cows. And Nanda Baba is like, Are you even listening to me? He said, no. So this was going on for a few weeks. So from Bhadrapad, now we have come to Ashwin. From August, we are now in September. Okay? And they're still dilly-dallying. Meanwhile, Krishna is feeling peer pressure. Because some of his friends have been given that responsibility. So a lot of peer pressure. He is becoming really unruly now. He's like, I don't want to listen to you. I don't like this house. Every day there are tantrums like that. So one day Krishna goes to Yashoda Maya and says, Maya, don't you ever want to see me married? Mother Yashoda says, yes, I want to have a daughter-in-law. That is only possible. Who is going to give me a wife? I don't even work. I'm so useless. Mother Yashoda understood where this was going. She's like, okay, forget marriage. What do you want? I know you're not interested in marriage right now. What is it that you want? I want to go out, take the cows out for grazing. Mother Yashoda realizes, okay, there's no way they can delay this anymore. So she says, go and talk to Baba. So immediately Krishna runs to Baba. Maya asked me to talk to you. Baba realized this is going to be a very, very sticky matter here. He says, yes, beta. Yes, Lala. I have to go out for grazing. Take the cows out for grazing every single day. And the Baba says, oh, yeah, it's time now. But we have to ask Panditji, astrologer, because it has to be a good time, good muhurta. Krishna immediately runs to Panditji's house. Knock, knock. Panditji is like, closed tomorrow morning. Krishna says, I'm Nanda's son. Oh, Rajaputra. The son of the king. Yes, sir, what can I do? The king has summoned you. Goes. Look at the charts. So what day is it today? Oh, so how many days in this month? Acha. Are you sure there are so many days in this month? So he's going this way and that way in his calculations. Finally, Nanda Baba is exasperated. He says, you know math better than me. You are a Jyotish, you're an astrologer. You know the Panchang better than me. Why are you going around this way and that way? Why don't you come to the point straight away? He says, all right, Nanda Baba, straight to the point. In the coming entire year, I do not find any auspicious moment except one. And the reason was because on the way, Krishna told him that if you tell Nanda Baba, if you give him too many options, then you know I have a reputation. So this should be your approach. Only one option you should give him. If you do that, I'll transfer a sizable amount into your bank account. You know, I'm the king's son. So you gave him a very lucrative offer. Like a lot of laddus, sweets, ghee, lucrative offer. The Jyotish, the astrologer, the Panditji agreed. Panditji is like, there's only one option. Nanda Baba said, not this month. He looked at Krishna. What to do? Krishna said, something, just give him one option. So he said, we only have one option next month. After that, there is. So Nanda Baba felt a little relieved. I have at least 1 month time to shower my undiluted love on Krishna. Oh, that month of Ashwin, Krishna really put on weight. So if you look at some of the pictures of Krishna from the last century, especially South India, you see him like really roly-poly. Mother Yashoda is smaller than Krishna. Krishna is like, oh, 1 month Ashwin. September. Come October. So there is Bhadrapad, there is Ashwin, and then there is Kartik. And we are in what month? Kartik. So come Kartik, October. And it is explained. This was the Muhurta, the auspicious time. Suklashtami Kartiketu Smrita Gopashtami Budhai Taddinad Vasudevo Bhut Gopah Purvam Tuvatsapah. So in the Padma Puran, it is explained that on Kartik Shukla Ashtami, Diwali is done. 8 days after Diwali is Shukla Ashtami of the month of Kartik. So on that day, Krishna, along with all the cowherd boys of his age, was given the charge of the cows. And he went into the forest. And that day celebrated as Gopashtami. So in the month of Kartik, we worship cows, especially on how many occasions? Especially dedicated to cows. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong question. So in Kartik, how many extra rounds we can chant? That is a good question. So there are 3 occasions on which we worship, especially dedicate that day to cows. One is Gopashtami. The other is Govardhan Puja. That is the Pratipada, Shukla Pratipada, the first day after Diwali, the next day of Diwali is Govardhan Puja. And we worship cows on that day. And the third is Vatsa Dwadashi. Since even before Krishna's appearance, in the month of Kartik, the worship of cows on Vatsa Dwadashi is considered to be most auspicious. Most auspicious. What is Dwadashi? The day after Ekadashi. So after Shukla Ekadashi, the Shukla Dwadashi is Vatsa Dwadashi. That is where we worship the cows. But in today's times, where are we going to get cows? In the picture form. Because we cannot have cows in dhatu form. We don't have cows. We don't keep cows like that. So in the picture form. And if we do not have it in the picture form, then we simply chant Hare Krishna. Because by chanting Hare Krishna, we are praying to Krishna, please help us serve the cows. Oh Krishna, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. And what does Krishna do? He takes the cows. So engage me in your service means engage us in serving your cows. There's so many ways we can interpret philosophy, isn't it? Depending on what is the occasion, who are we trying to serve. And it's good, it's proper interpretation. So on Gopashtami, Krishna was given charge of the cows. Ashwin, every night before he would go to sleep, Krishna would tell Mother Yashoda, please tell me a nice story about cows. And every day Mother Yashoda tell him the same story about cows. But just change a few things. One day the cow was eating grass from Dairy Queen's flavor, vanilla flavor. The other day she was eating grass from Govinda's. Other different flavors like that. So everything was scheduled. Mother Yashoda ordered shoes for Krishna, special shoes. Umbrella. Krishna asked, what is this for? Oh, Krishna, you'll go out into the forest. For so many days and months of your life, you're just spending in the palace and in the palace grounds and in the village. Everything is nicely paved. Nice landscaping. So your feet never felt the harsh ground. But when you go into the forest, there is no human intervention there in the forest. It is nature at her rawest. So there'll be pebbles there. The ground will be very hard. Thorns would be there. So you should wear shoes. And why the umbrella, mother? Oh, during the daytime, the sun is going to beat down harshly on you. Here, you have canopies in the village. You could always seek out the shade. But out there in the pasturing grounds, you may not always have the shades. You may not always have trees around you. Sometimes you may be in a meadow. The umbrella will protect you. He says, oh, thank you, mother. And how many pairs have you ordered? Mother said, I just a single set of shoes and one umbrella. I don't want to pamper you. Krishna said, no, I don't want to be pampered. Just as you're pampering me with one set of shoes and one umbrella, please get 36 lakhs. That is what? 3,600,000? 36 lakhs is 3,600,000? Or 36 million? 3.6 million? So 3,600,000, right? You should get me 3,600,000 pairs of shoes and 900,000 umbrellas. He said, Mother Yashoda said, why? Because Ma, we have 900,000 cows that we take out for grazing. If I am going to be pricked by the thorns, even they will be pricked. So we should have shoes for them. Mother Yashoda said, China, Taiwan, everyone put together cannot produce so many shoes in one day. there's no one who can manufacture so many shoes. Then Krishna said, if my cows are not going to wear shoes, I am not going to wear shoes. But somehow this was amplified outside the palace grounds and it reached the cow sheds. The cows, when they heard, oh, Krishna is going to come barefoot, they almost went into seizure. This is not possible. So that night the cows did Jagaran. They stayed awake the entire night and they ran all over. They called all of their cousins and friends from everywhere. Every Gaushala in Vrindavan and surrounding villages was empty that night because all the cows and the The young cows, the older cows, every single cow except the calves, that run into the forest and they're running all over the forest grounds, and they're really trampling the ground and turning every single mound of harsh earth into soft butter like sand. Next day, when Krishna went into the forest, it felt the forest land was softer than butter. The cows did that. They wanted to reciprocate with Krishna's love. So this is the nature of love. You love chanting the holy names will love back. But if you do it just as a task or a burden, similarly, they will also reciprocate themselves as being a burden. So this is the nature of love. There's reciprocation. So in this month of Kartik, we remember the cows. Krishna is known as Gopal. And I have to stop here now. So on this Shukla Ashtami of the month of Kartik, the 8th day of the bright moon phase, Krishna from Kanha, Damodar, Lala, he now becomes Gopal, one who takes care of the cows of Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So please, in the month of Kartik, remember the cows, offer your respects to the cows, and to the lover of the cows, one in whose heart there's so much of affection for the cows, Gopal Krishna. In Vrindavan, there's this very catchy song. You must have heard it. Nowadays, you don't hear it as much. For the past 5 to 10 years, it's not, somehow or the other, it's just been forgotten. Choti choti gaiya, chote chote gwal, choto so mero, Madana Gopal. Gopal. But Madana Gopal. Who's Madana Gopal? Who was very attractive to the cows. Madana is attraction personified. Gopal is the lover of the cows, the caretaker of the cows. Have you heard this before, this song? Choti choti gaiya. Beautiful, beautiful cows. Chote chote Goa. Simple hearted cowherd boys. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Choti choti gaiya. Choto so mero. Choti choti gaiya. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Shri Kartik Maas ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gau Mata ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Sorry? Vatsa Dwadashi. Vatsa Dwadashi is the day in the month of Kartik, since time immemorial, since the beginning of creation. We especially worship cows. worship cows. In this month, every month there is a special occasion to worship cows. In Kartik, yes. Before Lord Krishna gave us the Govardhan festival, and before Gopashtami festival came into existence, there was always Govatsa Dwadashi. Okay? It's the 12th day of the bright moon phase of the month of Kartik. Shukla Dwadashi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I hear the Kartik Masam, different people follow different days, and the starting of the Kartik Masam varies from.
What have you heard?
I think when the Kartik Masam started last week, some people told, no, Kartik Masam doesn't start yet, it will start. It will start in another 2 days or something like that.
Oh, 2 days. So, in the scriptures, the Rishi Munis, they give us vrata. So, it is more than Kartik Mas, it is Kartik Vrata.
Okay.
When we speak of Kartik Mas, we have to look from the point of view of the Panchang. Panchang is the almanac, the calendar. The calendar is that which decides based on the moon phases what would be the months. But the Kartik Vrata, which is the vrat, which are the vows or the spiritual activities that we do for the month of Kartik. Sometimes the Kartik Vrata, any Vrata, including the Chaturmas Vrata, including Shravan Vrata, it depends upon when you want to do the Anushthan, when you want to take the Sankalpa, when you actually begin the Vrata. So if it starts from, typically there are 3 tithis for it, to start any Vrata, typically. One is when, according to the calendar, the month starts. That is when you do it, according to the Panchang. The second is when you want to start the Vrata from Ekadashi. So Ekadashi to Ekadashi becomes the Kartik Vrata. So some people, they consider that to be the Kartik Mas, Ekadashi to Ekadashi. So from Ashwin, Ashwin Ekadashi to Kartik Ekadashi. That would be the Kartik Mas for them. And for others, it is from Purnima to Purnima. So it is how you are inspired to do your practices for a particular month, for a particular period of time. That is the only difference. Hence, I asked you, what have you heard? So when you said 2 or 3 days, it is because of this approach. Is it all right? Okay. Any other questions? This also happens with Chaturmas. Chaturmas also, according to Sanatana Goswami or Acharyas, Chaturmas can begin on Ekadashi. So from Shravan, Bhadrapad, Ashwin, Kartik. So from Shravan Ekadashi. But typically, our Chaturmas begins from the first day after Purnima. Our Chaturmas begins. We in ISKCON, we follow that. Okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Also, we follow Ekadashi, like if you see the calendar, regular calendar, Ekadashi will be 1 day ahead of our Vaishnava Ekadashi someday. So there is a confusion which one we should follow the Ekadashi or that kind of thing.
See, at one point of time, there were people living in a particular tract of land. They understood 2 time zones. For example, let us say we have Ekadashi here in Dallas and we have Ekadashi in Alaska. We start our Ekadashi at 8 o'clock, let's say 8 o'clock here, but in Alaska it's a different time. They haven't begun their Ekadashi as yet. So at one point of time, there were those who would follow the Vedic culture. There were 2 time zones for them. And according to that, tithis would sometimes be a little different. Sometimes the difference would be of a day. 1 day. That is because of 2 calendars. One calendar is that begins with or ends with Purnima. The other calendar ends with Amavasya. Amavasyanta Purnimant calendar. There are 2 calendars. So based on those calculations, because our calendar, there are 30 days, 28 days like that. 28 days in February, leap year, 29 days. August would have 31 days, I guess. September will have 30 days. That is how we have accepted the calendar. But the Panchang that we talk of, Purnima Anta and Amavasya Anta, these words itself indicate that it is based on the phases of the moon. So sometimes the moon phases overlap, and sometimes it's not. Typically, Purnima would be on the 15th day, but the moon phases are only 14. Amavasya and Purnima become 16. So why shouldn't one phase of the moon be 16? So because the moon phases have to be there. So should we start the moon phase from the first day after Amavasya, or should we also include Amavasya because it's a moon phase? No moon, new moon. So based on that, there are some calculations. So these are calculations of Jyotish, mathematical calculations. Should we say pi is 22/7, or should we say it is 3.14? What is after that? 147. Should we just say 3.14 or should we say 3.147? Because of those differences, 14 or 147, there's a difference of Tithi. That is maximum 1 day, not more than that. Is it all right? When I say 1 day, because we consider 1 day to be 24 hours. But according to Tithi, it is based upon when the Tithi begins. So if it is, let us say sunrise is the Tithi point. So the difference could actually be only of 50 minutes, 1 hour. But in our language, it becomes 1 day. Does that make sense? So it's not much difference from the mathematical point of view. But when we present it in terms of days, it becomes 2 different days. Can we stop here? Anything else? Last question.
Which calendar do you follow?
We follow the, what is it called as? Gaurabdha calendar. Our calendar is a Gaurabdha calendar. Our new year or our first year of our existence begins with the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. So that is called as a Gaurabdha calendar. But typically, the Vaishnav calendar is the typical Hindu calendar. Because for us, I think this is the month of Damodar. According to Gaurabdha calendar, this is the Damodar month. According to Hindu calendar, it is a Kartik month. So any community can come up with how they want to call the various months of the year. They can come up with that. If everyone agrees to it. So it is the Gaudiya Vaishnava Panchang. That is what we follow. This was implemented, designed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who himself was a very, very great astrologer. Jyotish. Is that all right? Okay. In simpler language for us, we follow the ISKCON calendar. That is simple language. Okay. In technical language, it is a Gaurabdha calendar or the Gauriya Vaishnava Pancham. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gita Mandir Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.